This is Rohan, and today we are going to talk about black holes and its amazing properties. But first, we need to understand what is a black hole. So, basically, a star, any kind of star, for example, Sun is a star, and there are many other stars. When it gets massive and when it runs out of all its energy, basically two things happen. Either it gets exploded into like a supernova and the energy is dispersed through the universe, or something else happens like it gets collapsed in its own gravity and it keeps on collapsing. So imagine the mass of the sun is 100 kilogram. The mass remains same, but the size keeps on shrinking, 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 and it keeps on shrinking, and it keeps on shrinking such a point that the gravity keeps on increasing of that mass. And when the gravity becomes so big that not even the light can escape through it, we call it a black hole. Because if light cannot escape from it, the light will not get reflected and come to our eyes, and we will not able to see it. And if we are not able to see it, then it's a black. And it's a hole because everything which goes inside of it keeps on going forever. So when you fall into a black hole, there is no other way you can go unless anything other than the center of the black hole, because that's where all the energy is, all the gravity is. Wherever you go, you end up at the center. So that's only one way forward in black hole. Now, the very next question would have that, is there a black hole for every star? No. For a black hole to happen, the sun, so the star needs to be of a particular size, and then only it can get collapsed into itself and become a black hole. And therefore, the next question would be like, is black hole of a given size, or there's a size limited? No, as per our observation, we have find the smallest of the black holes and the biggest of the black holes, and there are various ranges from 1x to 100x, and therefore we are not sure what is the size limit of a black hole. And so the next question would be like, if there is no size limit to a black hole, can this black hole gets bigger and bigger forever? For example, because it can always get bigger, because if a mass is thrown into a black hole, it gets into the black hole and the black hole becomes bigger. And therefore, can a black hole eventually engulf all the universe and there will be black hole instead of the universe? And the answer we know is no, because of the Stephen Hawking, because he discovered a radiation. Basically, when there is nothing in the space, so we can assume this is like a zero. Okay, but zero can be made up of plus and minus charges also, positive charge and negative charge, and they combine and it gives the same effect as there is as if there is no charge. So in a universe when there is nothing, so on the uh, out of nothingness, two charges emit, positive and negative, and they collapse itself again into zero. So it keeps on happening in the universe. This is a very unique phenomenon. We don't know why, but it keeps on happening. And so in every other part of the universe, the charges emit and it collapse. Charges emit and it collapse. But on the very edge of the black hole, when there is nothing, the charges emit, and sometimes one of the charges gets sucked into the black hole and other cannot get cancelled out, because the other charge, for example, positive charge gets sucked into the black hole and negative charge has nowhere to go because it cannot get collapsed into nothingness. So that charge energy is radiated as an energy from the black hole, and because it was emerged from the edge of the black hole, it is a part of the black hole, and so energy is emitted. And because of the Einstein's equation, E is equal to mc square, when an energy is emitted, a mass is also reduced of that thing. So the black hole can gain infinitely many masses, but eventually it will vanish because it keeps on radiating Hawking radiation described by Stephen Hawking, and it eventually gets into nothingness. So yes, black hole is big, it's scary, is we don't know all the answers, we cannot go into it. The time behaves very differently, time slows down. So it has many of the properties which will, like, maybe there is another dimension inside of the black hole. We don't know any of the answers. We can only just assume, predict, and assert, but we cannot do experiments because if you go, cannot come back, and you will suddenly vanish. And perhaps the information is something which is retained because of the nature of the universe. But in black hole, we are not sure how the information would be processed, because the information is engulfed in a different way, it is emitted as a radiation. Can we process the information? Maybe we don't have the equipment to do all of that, and we don't know. So black hole is beautiful, big, amazing, engulfing all the things, but it's also scary, unknown territory, and perhaps we might never know.